What's up, Postmates drivers? Well, if you're like me, today you got an updated Postmates Terms of Service. It's about 15 pages long, and I'm going to break it down in layman's terms right now for you. Let's get started. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to be a better delivery driver, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, you won't miss any of my awesome content. Let's break this down. Now, I've already agreed to these terms of service, but just so you know, some of these things you actually have the ability to opt out of within 30 days of actually agreeing to the terms of service. So if you already agreed, don't worry, still watch the video. You're gonna learn what you signed real quick. Just know that in these legal documents, I am the party, and when it's talking about Postmates and me, it's the parties. So I'm not really that exciting of a guy. We're not having parties, but I'm the party. Together we're the parties. Hope that makes sense. I'm just going to break this down. I'm not going to be like subsection 1A, 2B, blah, blah, blah. It's just going to get confusing. I'm just going to start with page 1. All right, so besides that parties thing with page 1, the first thing is we're Postmates drivers, so everything that comes along with that, and do everything within the law. That's page 1. Page 2. It's important to know that we're technically not employees, we are contractors. And in this document, it does refer to us as employees a couple of times, but this would supersede it because it says, as far as page 2 goes, we're not employees, we're contractors. Going on in the middle of page 2, it lets us know that we're really guaranteed nothing, meaning you're not guaranteed to make a certain amount of money, you're not guaranteed to get a certain amount of deliveries or orders, nothing is guaranteed to you. On page 2, it also lets you know that at any time Postmates can change this, and if you accept an order, they don't have to give you an updated terms of service. By accepting that order, you've accepted the updated terms of service. Page 2 finishes off by saying, do the job the best way that you could see fit, and you're responsible for everything, meaning parking tickets, damages to your vehicle, you break your ankle, the merchant punches you in the face, you're responsible. Starting on page 3. This was often a sign of debate, and a lot of people knew that you were allowed to do this. You can have a ride-along partner. So if you want to take your girlfriend out to show her what Postmates is like, or you need to babysit your kid, you can take them along with you. They're actually called a subcontractor, and it's our job to make sure they do the job right, and we pay them accordingly. On page 3, we're also told that we are allowed to work for other apps. So a lot of companies are like, hey, if you're in the car business, you can't work for another car business while you're working for us. But with this, it's saying you can work for any app-driven business. And as a Postmates driver, there is no uniform required. Obviously, you agree to a background check. They don't want you to abuse the system, meaning if they give you an option for like, share this code or whatever, don't abuse it, don't manipulate it. And you also agree to Postmates contacting you via phone, email, text, push notifications, all that garbage. Page 4 is pretty much summed up. Complete the order that you accept, and check an ID if necessary. That's page 4. They try to fumble you up with a lot of this mumbo jumbo. Page 5 starts strongly. Don't use the prepaid card fraudulently. So, duh. This was actually an impressive one. I didn't really realize it. So if you actually, let's say you have food, and let's pretend like you hit cancel while you had the food with the intention that you're going to eat this food. And this is like a common thing that people talk about, like, this Postmates driver stole my food. As of page 5, if Postmates determines that you stole food, or you don't return items, like say you got like a returnable, like alcohol, you have to return. If you don't return it, you can be charged for the item. They could just take it out of your pay. And I went on to read, it said that like you could dispute this, and they could determine what percentage of fault you are. So like, let's say like you smashed the meal or something. Like I tripped, I fell, actually scraped my elbow, here's a picture. They could be like, all right, look, this is an accident, we're not gonna take the money from you. However, if you're like, I really have no good excuse, I ate the food, they're probably gonna charge you for the sandwich. Postmates can change the pay scale at any time on the middle of page 5. And basically, if you accept an order, you agree to this change. Postmates also doesn't care if you get a cash tip. Anything that the customer gives you is between the driver and the customer. That completes page 5. We're already a third of the way through. Page 6, you are a 1099 contractor. Keep your car insurance valid. That's the end of page 6. Page 7. Don't give out customer info unless it's become public domain through no fault of my own. So this could actually be very important, especially if like you like to post up funny stuff that's occurred to you. So like you're not going to want to screenshot an order and post it up on social media and say, look what I got. Unless like you're going through Twitter, and I do this a lot, like I'll go through Twitter and it's actually the customers and the drivers who are posting up all this funny stuff, and I still like omit their information because I'm not trying to get anyone attacked or anything like that. So I'm very, very much confidential about people's information. I don't want to, you know, we're there to protect them. Like I've even seen customers complain about Postmates drivers who take pictures outside of their houses and stuff. Like it's a violation of their trust. So, you know, don't give out customer information. If you do find something that's online, you know, and it was obviously put out there through no fault of your own, like, you know, if I put out information, you can share it. That's the end of page 7. All right, this is the big one, I think. So we often talk about we're going to do a class action lawsuit, or Postmates is stealing our tips, or we're going to come together. Well, if you agree to these terms of service, you might not be able to. You actually agree to mutual arbitration provision. And I had to do some research because I love you guys and I want you to understand what this is. So normally if we went to court, like let's say Postmates we thought Postmates allegedly was stealing our tips, which is a claim that I hear a lot. Then we would gather up our case and we would take it to a court where we would present it in front of a jury with a lawyer, and the jury would make the choice, hey, these people need to be awarded, these people need to be not awarded. However, when you sign this, when you opt in for mutual arbitration provision, you're basically saying that you don't get a jury. Any legal matters you have to take to the arbitration, and typically it's a old judge or an attorney. And what they said in this document was it was an attorney. However, a retired judge can be an attorney, just so you know. So that's probably what you're going to get. That's page 8. If for any reason that you feel that you do need arbitration, to notify Postmates, it's not actually going to be through the app. If you need legal arbitration, you are going to have to notify them through certified mail. And their address is on their website, postmates.com. It's in San Francisco. So that'll be notified through mail. But one thing that also got slipped into page 9 is we're waiving the right to class or group action lawsuits. So we can't all come together like just what happened with the DoorDash and the tips and the drivers. It's saying straight up in here that we can't do this. Now, that's all for page 9, but when you go to page 10 didn't really have anything, but when you go to page 11, there is the right to opt out of arbitration. You can notify via mail, certified mail, to opt out within 30 days of agreeing to this. So if you got it today and you had to go to work and you hit agree and you're just like, I'm gone, you can notify them certified mail stating, read page 11, you want to opt out of this. And keep in mind, you can download this. Everyone should have gotten a hard email of this that you can download. So it's not just through the app. So check your email that you use to sign up for Postmates, and that's how I downloaded this. They're also saying, because I was looking into like what are the negative repercussions of not signing the agreement, and according to the internet, they're saying that the company can, like, it can be bad, like they could fire you, they could terminate you. And in here though, it's saying there will be no negative consequences. It actually says, your opt-out notice must be postmarked or received by Postmates within 30 days of your acceptance of this agreement. If you opt out as provided in this subparagraph, contractor will not be subject to any adverse action as a consequence of that decision and may pursue available legal remedies without regard to this mutual arbitration provision. So basically it's saying, hey, if you opt out, you get the ability to go to a lawyer if you want, or you get to go to court if you want. So you could take them to small claims court. So I recommend opting out. I'm going to. Oh, and the opt-out is only for you. It's an individual basis, so you can't opt out your subcontractor or anything like that. We're going to move on to page 12 now. Reasons to fire you is what they should call it. It's term and termination of agreement, reasons to fire you. 4 months without doing an order. Changing the market. They're taking the market away. Bye. If we breach our agreement. If we don't do the job right, or if we don't maintain legal docs, they can fire us, meaning car insurance, car registration, driver's license, etc. This goes into page 13, but if the Postmates receives a complaint from a customer, from another Postmates driver, or from a merchant of anything that could be seen as like dangerous or violent, aggressive, you're drunk, whatever, that can get you fired. Doing illegal stuff. That's just a good way to put it. Fraud, theft, whatever, doing illegal stuff. You can get fired for failure to comply with Postmates. So if Postmates calls you and says, hey, we need to do some research, we have some questions, and you go, I don't really feel like answering those questions, they can fire you. Abusive referral programs. I hope they don't get me because I keep referring my code at the end of this video, which stay tuned if you want to start driving for Postmates. I will give you my new updated video that I just completed today. It's pretty awesome, but stay tuned for that. A weird one I saw is, and it basically says, if you're terminated without notice, it's what's called the parties acknowledge that liquidated damages are appropriate because actual damages are not reasonably ascertainable. And what they're saying is liquid damages, you're going to get $100 per day that you're not notified. So like if you go on one day and you work all day and the next day you start up the program and it says you've been terminated or you get an email, sorry, you've been canceled, whatever, and you're no longer able to go online, then they notified you. However, if for any reason you're not able to go online and they've made the determination that you're terminated, from what I'm reading here, they're going to pay you $100 a day, per day, up to $500 for every day they don't notify you that you were terminated. So if you were terminated and they didn't notify you, look into that. You may want to do certified mail and do a case. So for almost any of these issues that you get fired for, you can dispute them. You have that right, except for the illegal and destructive actions. So if like you punch someone, there is no doing it. If you fraudulently do something, there is no doing it. But if like a customer complains or a merchant complains, you have the right to dispute it and challenge it. And I have heard people get to keep their jobs because of that and go back online. Page 14 and page 15 are pretty much nothing. Like this is a bunch of mumbo jumbo. And page 15 is like, I hope you all agree to this. So that's the new updated 2019 Postmates Terms of Service. It should be active for a year, but like I said, anytime they make changes, they don't have to notify us with this. If we keep accepting orders and you see changes with your system or changes to the rules, you are accepting the updates by taking the orders. Sorry, that's what it is. I do definitely recommend that you all opt out of the arbitration clause, because if you ever do want to get a fair legal representation if something does happen to you, you're going to want to go to small claims court. You're going to want to go see a judge. You're going to want to see a jury. So I really hope this made a lot of sense for you. If you're thinking about driving for Postmates, I really want to share my code with you to help get you a bonus. Here's that. All right, so you're ready to start driving for Postmates? Well, just use my code right here. Or if you want to make it even simpler, in every one of my videos, there's a link where you can go and get signed up and it'll automatically apply my code. It really supports me a lot and it actually helps you a lot because depending on what market you're in, you're gonna get a variable bonus or a guaranteed for completing a certain amount of orders. So they'll tell you that at the time of signing up, but use my code, start going out there making some orders, and I'll see you on the road.